Hey guys, today we're going to be breaking down the new ZENKAI Super Saiyan 2 KEFLA, Green KEFLA. This is definitely one of those characters that was a bit of a problem when they first released. This character, I believe she was right before the second anniversary next to Red transforming Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I remember her coming out because she was in every single match. This was a character you constantly ran into. And we'll see how they do her ZENKAI Awakening here. I actually did already get her fully soul boosted and ZENKAI 7, so we can take a look at her stats right away here. So, ooh, 290 to strike, almost 291 to strike attack. That is exceptionally good. That is very, very good. These days, we don't really typically see non-LF ZENKAI characters have a main offensive stat at this level like this. You don't really see this too often, so that's really good. Unfortunately, defenses are definitely a bit lacking. You can definitely tell they sacrifice some of the defenses just to pump up the strike stat a little bit higher there. But this character is definitely going to be, you know, substantiated to or susceptible to not really having good blast attack, which is fine because she is changing her strikes to, or sorry, it's her blasts to strikes, right? But she's a very, very one-dimensional offensive character here. And then it looks like defensively, she's not really going to be doing too well against blasts. Specifically, 174 as a ZENKAI character is not good. Typically, what you like to see is at least low 180s to both stats for a ZENKAI character, but we'll see what they do. All right, so double strike. She is on Saiyans, Super Saiyan 2, Girls, Fusion Warrior, Potara, Universe 6, Universe Rep. She's on Saiyans, Fusion Warriors, and basically Universe Rep are her teams, right? So, yeah, she has a few good tags that you can use for her. All right, so the main thing that made this character so insane back in the day was this ability. She actually didn't have that much damage inflicted through unique abilities. She got a lot of her damage through this effect right here, stacking up her strike attack through just the effect of the Strike Arts card itself. This was like the first major insane level strike effect that we saw on a character, I believe. 25% strike damage for 10 counts. So that you know, 10 is a decent period of time. You can stack this up, considering the fact that she also, again, is changing her full hand to strikes. So it's going to let you stack that up pretty easily. Blast is normal. The blue card is Gigantic Crusher. Major explode damage. Destroys 3 enemy cards. That is the exact same. That did not change at all. I have her kit pulled up in a separate window so I can tell you what's different. Green card. Restores health by 10%, key by 30. Okay, the key is new. That's really good. Stop times without key recovery on it at this point are basically just worthless almost. 20% damage inflicted for 20 counts. That actually goes up from 15 counts. And then cancels attribute. Yeah, that's the same. The attribute downgrades of normal conditions is the same. The ultimate is the Gigantic Blast. Massive impact damage, 100% enemy sustained damage cover for 3 counts. Nullifies endurance, and then a 30% chance to faint. This actually did not have blast armor, which is hilarious because her strike cards had blast armor, and the ultimate did not. But yeah, this picked up blast armor, which is good. Okay, yeah, the feint on this, I specifically remember in like 2 out of 3 matches, always trying to just pray that I didn't get feinted with this, because you saw this every match. Just comes down to whether or not you get feinted with that or not. All right, so main ability, Ultimate Arts card, Gigantic Blast, restores key by 50, and then 40% damage for 20 counts. So the only change that they made here was that the 40% damage inflicted for 20 counts is now uncancelable. She should have healed. I don't care how good you are. I don't care what your kit looks like. I would actually say with confidence that every single character, whether it's a new summonable character altogether or it's a sparking ZENKAI character or whatever, EX2, like every single new character that comes out, free-to-play included, they need to be able to heal at least a little bit of HP on their main ability. The main ability, like having an on-command heal with the main ability is very important. And I think if you're a new character coming out without that, you're missing a actual very strong ability that a lot of characters, most characters, have access to. All right, so Z ability, this is where things get a little bit strange. So Z ability is Girls or Fusion Warrior, strike attack during battle, and then the ZENKAI ability obviously is going to be Green Universe Rep, yeah. So this is the reason why I'm not really a big fan of the way that they designed this character. They should have, I mean, they're not going to update her Z ability, but they should have, because we're going to find ourselves in a situation where, you know, there's going to be times where you obviously want to put this character on the bench for Universe Rep, assuming we're going to, at some point, we're getting a good green character for this team, Universe Rep. And obviously, you'll then want to put KEFLA on the bench to Zenkai buff them. The problem with that is KEFLA is not buffing the team with her Z ability, right? It's girls or fusion warriors. So you can't overlap that unless the character you're buffing is in the leader slot, but then most often the other two characters you're going to be using in the battle aren't going to be on girls or fusion warriors, right? Unless I guess it's another KEFLA or something like that, Universe 6 Saiyan. So it's a very annoying mixture of the Z ability and Zenkai ability with this character. Just a very big design flaw, I feel like, with the way that they handle the Zenkai ability and Z abilities for these characters. All right, let's take a look at the unique abilities here. So the first one is card draw speed permanently. Pretty good. Applies following effects itself when this character enters the battlefield. She changes all of her blast cards to strike cards. This is the same exact effect that LF Cooler does. The one downside to this is it makes you very predictable. You switch into KEFLA, you're obviously going to be using a strike because your whole hand is only strikes, right? So if you're going up against a character that has, or an enemy that has a bunch of strike cover change units, they'll be able to easily predict that you're going for a strike card next. The good thing about this is, though, is that she is getting a lot of her damage effects, like the stacking strike damage effect from using strike cards, right? So the more strike cards you're using, the higher you're going to stack that up and the more damage you're going to be doing. 30% damage inflicted cannot be stacked, cannot be canceled. All right, so that gained cannot be canceled. And then reduced damage received by 20% for 20 counts. -5 to strike cards cost, cannot be stacked, cannot be canceled. That also gained cannot be canceled. I don't understand why do these reduced damage received buffs need to be timed? Like, none of those should ever be timed at this point. Back in the day, sure, I understand why some of them were timed. But in this day and age, if this character's coming in with 20% reduced damage received, which is already not that good, considering her defensive stats are not that great, like, this character needs to have permanent 20% reduced damage received, non-cancelable at all times, period. Next unique ability here, 20% damage inflicted against character Goku. It's, again, pretty good. There's a lot of, I mean, not right now. There's not a lot of good Gokus running around, actually, which is very strange considering it's a Dragon Ball game. But Goku will be a character that forever gets good units, obviously. So, falling effects occur after enemy attack is over. Restores 30% of damage received. That actually went up from 20%. That's pretty good. Up to 30% of 1 HP. 20% of damage inflicted by allied tag girls, fusion warrior, or tag Universe 6 for 25 timer counts. This, to me, I haven't looked at the other two unique abilities yet, but this to me is the biggest, like, what in the hell are they doing moment for me with this unit. This unit specifically releases to help the new Universe Rep tag, and they don't put Universe Rep in this support at all? Hello? What? I legitimately have no idea what they're doing. All they had to do was just add Universe Rep into this. That's it. Why? Why would they not add the Universe Rep tag into this? I don't understand. This support is actually really good. Right? You get tap blasted, you get tap attacked, you get tackled. All of those effects activate this mechanic. 20% damage inflicted, and 25 counts is a decently long period of time. So this is not like a little, rinky-dink buff. Like, this can actually ramp up if your opponent is sitting at long range, tap blasting you constantly, trying to bait you into a vanish. This can rack up your damage a lot for the whole team. And so because this doesn't buff the Universe, Rep team, the best character on your team, aka Blue 17, is not going to be getting the effects of the support because for whatever reason they decided not to give Universe Rep the effects of this mechanic. So stupid. All right, let's take a look at the next two unique abilities here. The first one is Pure Elation. Applies the following effects itself when battle starts. 20% damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 25%, and 30% to key recovery. Okay, I mean, this is probably a pretty standard type of buff at this point in the game for you know, regular non-LF Zenkai units. All right, and then the final unique ability is Girls Leading the Charge. Shortens other allies' subcount by 1 every time when hit with an enemy's strike, blast, special move, ultimate, or awakened arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Activates 5 times. Huh. Okay. So you get hit, like your opponent's comboing you pretty much. I guess the best way to think about this is kind of like Blue Zamasu's ability, but it's reversed because it applies to your allies when you are getting hit, as opposed to applying to you when your allies are getting hit. Interesting. It only activates 5 times, so I mean, you get hit with 5 strike blasts, blue cards, whatever, and then it's over, but I feel like that actually has some value. I'll take that. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Key by 20, that's good. 30% strike damage inflicted, and then shorten subcount by 2, activates 3 times. That's interesting. Shorten subcount by 2, okay. So let's just see, how much strike damage is she getting just from switching in? So 30%. That's it from there. 50. So she's starting off with 80% strike damage. Not considering potential buffs she could have if she's fighting a Goku, if she's stacking up the support from getting hit. So 80% baseline is how much strike attack she's getting when she switches in. Remember, she also grabs 40% from the unique ability for 20 counts. And then don't forget, she's stacking up her strike damage with her strike card effect here. So, I mean, she seems pretty decent. I think her high strike stat is going to be really important in actually calculating some good damage numbers for her. So we'll see how she looks once we head into PvP here. But that's KEFLA. Do we have any new equipment? Let me check. I don't know if we do, actually. Let's go to the archive. Let's see. We do. We have this Ribrianne equip. Say Your Prayers. Girls and Universe Rep. So blast or strike, and then blast or strike again. So you can basically grab up to 30% of whatever stat you want on base, which is good, but that's good as one slot. Like, you don't really want this taking up multiple slots. And then we have damage to Android. Why do they keep making these? I don't understand. Like, okay, this concept is fine, but this should not be time gated to the first 60 counts. Like, why? What is the point to time gating it to the first 60 counts? I don't get it. Just be permanent. But I mean, yeah, you do what, 20% extra pure damage to like Android 18, Android 21. So I mean, that's if they release at some point like a really broken 21, or like the second coming of the tag androids, if they give them like a unique equipment, they're all of a sudden insane again. Then yeah, this equipment will be pretty good. But I don't think they needed to, like, for all these equips, because at this point this is a common format for equipment, is they make this last slot, up to 10% damage inflicted to a certain tag, and then they time gate it to 60 counts. This does not need to be time gated, number 1. And then number 2, I think they should just move these to one slot of the equipment, and then give us some kind of defense in a different slot. Maybe give us just, I don't know, 10% to both defenses. If this equipment was like 30% strike attack, or 30% strike or blast attack, maybe even just 8% to both defenses, and then it was the same exact final slot, except it wasn't time gated to 60 counts. This would actually be like a really nice piece of equipment. I don't think it would be better still than a lot of like, the good awakened equipment, the good unique equipment, but you would at least have to think about, oh, do I use this or not? Whereas right now, I'm not using this. Like, what reason do I have to use this? Unless, again, specifically like, Android 18 or 21 becomes like a massive issue. I don't know. Not really a big fan of that design. I think that should be it in terms of new equipment as well. Yeah, I don't see anything new. Yeah, we don't get a new awakened equipment yet. Okay, so that's gonna be it. I mean, it's just KEFLA'S Zenkai, and it's the new equipment. So let me know down below what you guys think of the green Super Saiyan 2 KEFLA getting a Zenkai. I'm gonna jump into her showcase immediately after posting this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.